good morning, good afternoon, good evening again, my family. Welcome to the mental house with me, your host, Khadija. Okay. Um, I want to address something to Adrian, and I think that's your name. The way you got it, Adrian. I'm gonna assume it's Adrian 8. Um, and I thought it was a very good question you asked me, and you know, the, the question was, I guess, regarding a video that I did about a week ago, um, in terms of how I see humanity. I think that's how you kind of, uh, framed your question. Um, like I tried to say in that video, I'm not the same person, of course, that I was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. So I'm talking from a perspective now of a seasoned individual. Because all the things that you think are important today, there are things that's still going to be important, but there are going to be things that you're going to think that's not as important um, once you get past 50. You know, you're going to start, you figured it out. And, mm-mm. you know, you pick your shots and what you want to live life for. And, those things are very important. Okay. So, Adrian 8, mm, what I meant by when I pick my shots and what I think about the human family, you want to say that Caucasian individuals are not human. Okay, and I wrestle with that. I believe, my personal belief is that, just knowing that the cold climate that, most Europeans come out of the caves and things will pretty much cause for cold individual. I believe when people are closer to the sun, closer to the equator, they have a more grass root, a more kinship to earth, to nature, to the sun, to hot, to birth, and things that are natural. So, with that being said, I don't dismiss them from being if um, a species of human beings. So, maybe it sounds confusing the way I said it, but I look at it like this. I can only speak um, in layman's terms. I call it that if you're dealing with a bunch of birds, you have the robin, you have the sparrow, you have the um, woodpecker, you have the oriole, the blue jay. All of these are beautiful reflections of God in creation, and they are birds that are harmless. They pretty much, the laws that they follow are not predatory. The behavior that they exemplify is pretty safe to humans. Maybe a worm wouldn't feel that way, but as far as a human being is concerned, they're not very threatened by the birds that I just named. Um, the swallow, the cardinal, all these birds are wonderful, beautiful birds. But Adrian, you got to realize that we also have what we call the predator birds. And those are birds like the falcon, birds like the eagle, birds like the osprey, or the owl, for that matter, the hawk. And who can forget about the old reliable buzzard or vulture? These are predator birds. These are birds that'll hunt you down and mess you up. And they don't give a damn that you're a human being. If they're hungry or they feel threatened, they're attacking big time. Um, there are some birds that have been known to predator birds that just get up out the water and attack a human being. I can't think of some of them. Gosh, I can't think of the name of that bird, but there was a few of the incidents somewhere in Florida where these particular birds attacked. I believe it was Florida. It was somewhere in the south. So those are called predator birds. Those predator birds will mess you up, right? So you have to acknowledge their presence when you see them. So that's kind of how I look at the human family. I I do believe um, that white people are a species of human being, just like black people, just like Chinese people. We're all species of. I mean, we eat, we sleep. We're just a representation of the human that creation has popped out, I should say. But with that being said, and I'm sure there's a lot of y'all just gonna disagree with me, and that's fine. This is just my opinion. And remember, they're like butts. Everybody have one, buttholes. But I do believe that there is a coldness that is exemplified by the European, and the way he sees the world. Sometimes is not as warm as 9/10 of the population, and that's why when Columbus could go to these spots, or they could go and meet these natives, they could see that these people were just coming in peace. They weren't, you know, they were bringing knives to gunfights. Uh-oh. They were bringing knives to gunfights, and with that being said, uh, that's probably pretty much how we were conquered. Hi, good morning. How are you doing? Oh, good. So, listen, Adrian. Adrian eight. I appreciate and I respect your question. Keep hitting me up at artistsforfreedom.anwar. That's artist ARTISTS for FOR freedom FREEDOM .ANWAR. I know it's a lot of words, y'all. At gmail.com, or the mental house at wi.rr.com. And I thank you for being out there. I thank you for your comment. And I hope I answered your question. I just think it's a different species, but they're all birds. All right, I'll see you next time in the mental house. Bye bye. Hey, you woke up, huh?